Oh, what a long meeting that was.
Oh, I thought it would never end.
What time is it?
Oh, 2 in the morning. I'll tell you what, I'm not enjoying these new late shifts now that we've moved over to Romania.
Yeah, I don't know. The boss has just been so different lately.
Yeah.
It's like, he's been looking very pale and... Like, he's got lovely teeth now, but...
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Whatever dentistry they got over in Romania now, it's really helped him out.
Yeah, God, I hope this doesn't last too long. This placement in Romania. Hopefully we'll be back in the office soon enough.
No, I totally agree with you. I mean, like, the place that they got us staying in now, all the locals, they just talk about the boss in such kind of hushed tones, like he's some kind of monster. Which, I mean, in fairness, working in the business that we do, it's arguable that bosses are kind of a monster, but that's not really my place to say.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't listen to the podcast.
No, sorry, what's the podcast?
No, nothing.
Oh, okay.
It's weird. It's very weird that he's been acting like this, but I guess we'll have to deal with it.
I mean, I did see him biting you earlier in the canteen. I thought that was... I mean, it's not the first time he's done it, but I thought, now that we've moved to a new office in Romania, I thought he'd, kind of stop doing that sort of stuff. But
yeah, it hurt more this time, I'll be honest.
No, I'm not surprised, especially with the new pointy teeth that he has. I mean, it's funny. I went to the bathroom the other day, and I swear I saw him turn into a bat and like kind of fly out the window and all that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, I was in the bathroom with him as well, and I could have sworn he walked past the mirror, but I didn't see him there.
Oh my god!
I just turned around and he was right there.
I mean, in fact, obviously, I'm not judging or anything. I mean, I'm just kind of observing. I mean, I'm not sure what I think about his new accent, though. I mean, it's kind of almost kind of feels like a bit an offensive stereotype of a sort of a vampire. But
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure why you decided to do that, but hey, that's the boss, though.
And his new dress sense as well, wearing a cape everywhere, and all those black clothes, and
Ben, what's wrong with wearing a cape?
Oh, it's strange. I'm not used to.
I'm wearing a cape right now. But...
No, I'm used to you wearing a cape. It's the boss.
Okay,
like
that's fine.
It's not his usual suit and tie setup.
No, that's very true. That's very true. Either way, we've got some work to do. I mean,
yes.
It's going to be end of day now at 6 o'clock in the morning, so we got a couple of hours to fill, and well, I mean, in fairness, I wasn't really paying attention during that meeting. Like, I just sort of, I decided to snooze off for a little bit. Do you remember what he actually asked for?
I was half asleep, but I did hear the bit where he asked for us to make a plumbing game.
Game?
He said that his plumber came... Well, the new plumber in Romania.
Right.
He came, he fixed up the pipes, and because this new office, it's got a lot of issues. And he fixed up the pipes, and the boss wasn't able to pay him because of how expensive this place was.
No, that's fair.
And instead he said, well, we'll make you a game. It'll be in your honor, and it'll be to commemorate you.
Right.
So we're making a plumbing game of some sort.
We're making a plumbing game to celebrate our new Romanian plumber.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
In that case, then I'm gonna make myself 2 cups of coffee.
Yeah,
one to keep myself awake, and another one to help with this game.
Yeah,
I'll get you
creative
some
juices.
I'll give you some bandages to put around your neck, and we will make a start on this idea.
Okay. Hello everyone, it's me, Ben.
Hi, it's also me, James. What podcast is this?
The Game Overtime one.
Oh my god, did you forget what the name of the podcast was?
No, I didn't. I thought I'd be like, I'm Ben, you're James, and we are the Game Overtimers or something.
The Game Overtimers.
Oh, that's not good, is it?
No, I'm hoping if there's any fans of it, all of our fans in the audience, if they're looking for a particular name to call themselves, Game Overtimers, not feeling it.
It's not it.
The GT is, I don't know, you get that confused with, Gran Turismo. I don't really want that.
The Goers?
Goers. What do the Game of Thrones fans call themselves? Throners, I guess.
What the what?
Oh, right, yeah, no, nothing at all. There is nothing else that has the same acronym as the Game Overtime podcast that I may be referring to. So, nothing to worry about there.
Okay. Yeah, we'll let them figure that one out.
Yeah, of course.
They're the fans.
Exactly. But Ben, what are we doing today? What are we coming up with?
Plumbing. Well, we're not doing plumbing, but we're coming up with a game about plumbing.
Maybe give it another week, see how we get on. But yes, we're making a game about plumbing.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you, James. I don't know much about plumbing.
I'll say this first. I certainly don't know about any games about plumbing or plumbers. I don't think.
True.
I don't know if anyone's made anything yet. It's certainly nothing popular enough that I can't really imagine a video game plumber in my head, or sort of what anything to do with pipes or stuff like that. So
I can't imagine it's too profitable.
No, neither do I. But it's fertile ground. We've got an opportunity here to really, really come up with something innovative. So let's think this one out. So what
kind of gear does a plumber have? We got the plunger. We got the.
We got plungers. We got spanners. We got pipes. That's another one. That's something.
Yeah, they do need to get in those.
That's very true. They do. So what if?
Do the plumbers climb inside the pipes?
Depends how big the pipes are. If the pipes are big, if the pipes are man-sized, then I suppose they could just walk straight in, or
if the plumber's pipe-sized.
So if the plumber is pipe-sized, that's very true. Could we make a game about that? Could we make a game about a plumber who sometimes he's pipe-sized and sometimes the pipes are plumber-sized?
We could create a game. Honey, I shrunk the plumber.
Honey, I shrunk the pipe.
Wait, then the pipe's very small.
We could do it Pokemon Red and Blue. We have Honey, We Shrunk the Plumber and Honey, We Shrunk the Pipe. Two separate games that you have to connect.
Yeah, okay.
You have to connect them together in order to get all the Pipermon, I guess we could call them that. Monsters who live in the pipes.
Pipermon.
Yeah, exactly. Pipermon, gotta pipe them all.
What does live in the pipes anyway? Rats probably do.
Mice, they live in the pipes. Snails, they live in the pipes. I've seen a documentary about turtles that live in the sewer who know kung fu. They probably live in the pipes as well.
I swear I heard something on TV once about a tiger in a pipe.
Tiger in a pipe, there we go. That's another one as well.
The boss battles.
Fatbergs, that's another thing that live down pipes. I know about that. Could we make a game about the Fatberg? That's another question. Do you remember the Fatberg?
I'm going to be honest, no.
So, I can't remember what city it was in, but this was about a year ago. And basically, what had happened was, because so many people had dropped, stuff with oils and fat in him, because that doesn't break up in the U-bend, basically it collects in the sewers, and it forms a fatberg, which is like an iceberg, but made out of fat.
So, we could do the Titanic.
We could do the Titanic,
but in a pipe.
But in a pipe, yeah. Exactly. That's what we could do. But all the beats about Titanic, about star-crossed lovers from different classes, the child of the rich daughter of an industrial something or other, and then a poor pauper boy. But they find love despite all of that. But then something comes in the way that destroys them, and that thing is a fatberg.
Yeah. And are they going to survive this, or are we're going to self-insert Bill the Plumber into the game?
Well, Bill the Plumber, I'm thinking, could be this. He could be the down on his luck, pauper. He could also be the rich heiress as well. We could have double plumbers.
We could have both of them be Bill.
We could both, yeah, exactly. They could both be plumbers. And then what I'm thinking is that if people play the game normally, it will end on kind of a tragic ending. We're going to build up, the tiers in people. They're going to be like, Why did they have to die? Why did the Fat Pig have to come between them? Guess what? DLC. Fix that all up.
Oh, that's great.
People are going to be so upset by what has happened that they'll happily hand over money to see that fixed.
And all we gotta do is give Bill the free version that has the DLC pre-included, so that we get
Exactly.
we get him happy, consumers sad enough that they'll pay money to get the good ending.
I feel like they should do that with films. If you've seen a film which has a sad ending, you should be able to pay. So, like at the end of, Empire Strikes Back, where Han Solo, they put him in a big old thing of carbonite and you're never going to see him again. Guess what? 20 quid across the table. He's fine. Han Solo, he's back. Nothing happened. It's all good.
There could be for any film that has the protagonist die, you pay 20 quid, get a phoenix down.
There we go, yeah, and you could spend. You don't just have to spend it on one film. You can spend it on any film that you want.
Or like any time throughout the film, a character dies, you can just do a quick microtransaction, get a quick phoenix down, and then revive them. Obviously,
see, if I was
save
Sega,
some money.
why didn't they do that with Sonic 06?
Yeah.
Sorry to any listeners in the audience who haven't played Sonic 06, although
we're going to spoil the game here, and it's a really good story. Please play the game yourself first.
It's a 12-year-old game, but it still holds up.
Mm-hmm.
But there is one point in the story where Sonic the Hedgehog... Does he get stabbed in the back or something?
I don't quite remember. I just know that...
I know that he dies, but I can't remember...
Yeah.
I know he dies by something, ridiculous. I mean, the game itself is ridiculous, but, I remember that he gets stabbed in the back and then he falls over. And it's like, oh no, Sonic, you're dead.
Does Silver punch him or something?
No, Silver's his pal at this point. Silver's stopped messing him about, which is why he's sad as well that Sonic's dead.
Is it Memphis, that dude?
Memphis walking in Memphis, he stabbed Sonic in the back, and then everyone's upset, and they're like, hold on, I've got an idea. Let's get all these Chaos Emeralds and bring him back. And then also a kiss from a human princess that, not only brings him back to life, but turns him into Super Sonic as well.
Mm-hmm.
If I was Sega, get all that. Sonic's dying, and it says, do you want to save Sonic the Hedgehog? And you say yes. And then it brings up a prompt to put your credit card details in. And it's like, well, how much do you really want Sonic to come back? And there's a $5 option, a $15 option, a $50 option.
If you choose not to pay, you do have to play the rest of the game as Elise, and she can't do much.
No, she can't jump. She doesn't run very fast. All the levels are exactly the same as they were before, but unfortunately, you can't solve them like you could with Sonic the Hedgehog. And Shadow and Silver won't get involved because, obviously they're quite upset by what's happened. They need time to grieve.
Yeah, they start mourning. They plan the funeral that plays out at some point.
They buy him a little 3-foot coffin, or they have the Scottish Guard there who are playing the Sonic the Hedgehog theme tune on their bagpipes.
I wonder if someone's done that.
What, had a Sonic the Hedgehog funeral?
No. No, I meant the Sonic the Hedgehog theme on bagpipes.
Oh, right. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'll have to look that up. If I find it, it'll be in the podcast notes, but... Anyway, we need to get back to the original topic.
Yes, no, obviously, the plumbing adventure. I can't believe that we spent so long talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, you know what we could do? We could come up with a character that could directly compete with Sonic the Hedgehog.
We could.
Almost like it was on a different platform and, different skills set and all that sort of stuff.
Give him, some dungarees, maybe an iconic hat.
Well, the hat would be quite good because it means we wouldn't have to draw the hair. Maybe give him a mustache to kind of separate his facial features.
Yeah, that's good.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's a clever... I came up with that. That's
comedy relief brother.
Yeah, we could give him a brother. That's very true.
Yeah, taller brother, younger. But he's quite scaredy cat.
Yeah.
The type. Look quite similar, but he's more lanky and
bit of a long shot, but if people like him, we could have him in a game hunting ghosts. Don't ask me why. But I've always wanted to have a game with somebody hunting a ghost. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, he can hunt ghosts. His brother can plumb in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know why I quite said. I mean, we've got. I'm sure that video was that podcast. These aren't videos; these are podcasts. That podcast will come around at some point. That prompt, but I was just wanted to throw it out there. Ghost hunting game with plumber's brother. It could be a moneymaker.
Yeah.
100%.
So for now, we're good with the whole. Oh, the plumber has shrunk down, or into like a size where he can go into the pipes.
Or the pipes have got large enough to fit a man-sized plumber.
So either the pipes have got massive.
Yes.
Or the plumber's got miniature.
Here's my idea. Have you ever played a David Cage game?
I've not played them, but
but you know very well
familiar,
of them.
Yes.
And you know that those games are about asking big questions.
Yes, the biggest of questions.
Such as...
handled in the perfect way.
Exactly. Like, can you be racist to a robot? Can you, like, kill people, I guess? I don't know.
Who is the Zodiac Killer? It's a big question.
Yeah, who was the Zodiac Killer? Absolutely, yeah, the Zodiac Killer was the main killer in Heavy Rain. That's very true.
Heavy Rain, yep.
Heavy Rain. Yeah, exactly. But I'm thinking, what if our game is asking that big question of, are these man-sized pipes, or are you a pipe-sized man?
Ooh.
And that's the friction that powers the entire game.
That's the big reveal at the end.
Oh my god.
Well, no, we don't actually reveal it. We keep it like under wraps.
Well, no, because of the DLC, obviously.
Well, yeah, that and we don't want to we got to have people talking about the game more and trying to figure out what the actual answer was. We're not going to leave any hints towards it, but people will find them. We want it to be
like the end of Inception, where he spins that spinning top on the counter and walks off, and you go, how did he spin that spinning top so well? Why is it still going? Because they never explained that during the film, like whether he was like a spinning top champion or whatever, or whether he was just very good at it. So,
and then like 15, 20 years later, we can come out and say, this is how it was. It was actually
it's not
a plumber-sized.
It's not us that comes out to explain it. It's beloved actor Sir Michael Caine who explains that.
He's going to be playing the plumber.
No, he's going to be the plumber's mentor. He's going to. Okay. There's going to be a bit in the game where the plumber. There's an enemy. The plumber's got a villain, and he's called Roland Rat, and he's a big old rat who lives in the pipes, and he likes to steal, sewer gold from all the people who live up on the surface, and the plumber's trying to figure him out. And he says, some people they can't be reasoned with. They're not, some people just want to watch the world burn, or in the case of this guy, steal sewer gold from the people upstairs. And the audience are going to go, I get it. This is profound. I like it. And we could do that. We are the Dreamweavers. We are the content creators.
We are I don't know. We're something.
We're definitely something. I'm pretty sure we're something.
Mm-hmm. And I think we could possibly get a crossover with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You reckon we could?
Yeah.
What? So pipe-sized man, pipe man is like, so what? They're hanging around down in the sewers. They're about to fight, Shredder or whatever his name is. Mm-hmm. And then pipe-sized man, pipe mine, he comes out and he's like, yo, dudes, I'm having a bit of a problem. There's a big old rat who's causing me trouble. And they're like, whoa, you're not talking about Master Splinter, are you? And he's like, no, not him. He's all right. No, I'm talking about this other one. And they're like, okay then. So, yeah, they go help him out. They know Kung Fu, I guess.
Yeah,
are all forms of martial arts Kung Fu? I don't know.
Probably.
Oh, 100%, yeah. And, yeah, that could be a backdoor. That's our backdoor pilot into getting the game done.
Mm-hmm. And, well, because, the plumber is obviously not going to be great at combat, so he could be, trying to fix the pipes while they're doing this, redirecting some water flow or something to help them out in the battle.
Well, I'm thinking as well, him and the pipes, they have some kind of symbiotic relationship, so he might trick some of the foot soldiers to go into the big pipes, but then they come out of small pipes, and then they are small, and it's like, well, there we go. How do you like that? And they don't like it because they don't like being small. Just to answer that question, but
or even smaller than before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There we go.
And there are gonna be lots of worlds in this game. There'll be the toilet world, where You have to like do like an ascent up to the toilet.
There'll be the creme patissiere world where you're coming out of like a piping sleeve for icing. Doesn't just have to be water pipes. It could be other kind of pipes. There could be grandpa world where they come out of smoking pipes.
We've got the fat world where it's just lots of fat and then fatbergs everywhere.
Oh yeah, well fatbergs. Those are platforms that you have to hop on top of, and they're quite. It's like Super Mario Brothers 3. They're quite slippery. You'll slide backwards and forwards on them.
So you know how like RPGs you have like adventuring guilds and such.
Okay.
So you got like people that go there and they're like, I want to become an adventurer.
Yeah.
How about instead of that we have plumbing guilds? Like we have these RPG towns where everyone's houses are made out of pipes, and you go in there and you go to one of the schools, and it's a plumbing guild, and you're like the best in class at everything. You've got to do a tournament where you race turtles down the pipes.
Okay.
And you do like a plumber battle where you do plungers to plunger, that sort of thing.
Sure.
And that you've got like there's a bully character, and he's not very nice.
Of course.
But you've also got some friend characters and all that. But you end up winning, getting the girl, and then she gets stolen by a tornado.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
And so how are you thinking this is going to work then? Is it like, do you fight with a plunger? Do you,
definitely.
100%. And like, I'm assuming we'll come up with some kind of plumbing controller for this, where, you point a plunger at the screen and the character follows it, one-to-one movement.
Oh wait, is the Wii remote still relevant?
It's always relevant to me.
Okay, we use the Wii remote then. We get like a peripheral because like people buy those in spades.
Oh, 100%.
We get a peripheral that's shaped like a plumber. Not a plumber, a plunger.
We could have a peripheral that is shaped like a plumber, though. We could have it so you have to kind of walk them around like an action figure in order to move them in world. We could, give them little posable arms, and that will reflect in game as well.
But you're gonna have one-to-one plunger control with this weapon.
Okay.
So like you swipe up, you do the plunger up, you do the thrust, and you can like grab opponents with it.
That's
because
good.
It's a plunger, and you can also like grab things. You can like pick a bit of fat, use it, and throw it. And the plunger is going to be like multi-use. You can use it to hang on to things because of its sticky surface.
I quite like that.
Yeah, no, I actually want to play this game now.
No, I do as well. I quite like the idea of using a suction cup for utility and for fighting. That's I think that actually be quite good. And then you'd have like a spanner item which, helps direct water flow and, loosen up bolts and stuff if you wanted to attack players with steam or with water. I don't know. What else do plumbers do other than plumbing?
Well, let's go back to like the whole. We're gonna get out of the pipes. We're gonna be back to like the whole plumbing business where he's not in a pipe and he's actually just hitting the pipes.
Got you.
What do plumbers do with the pipes? They fix them? How?
Mm-hmm. Replace them, they fix them,
I had a plumber over recently.
Did he really? How did it go?
So he came in, he said hi.
They usually
and
do.
it's always awkward because like I don't know. Sometimes it takes a while. And he's just gonna like sometimes I think, oh, I'm gonna stay here and wait for him to finish. But do you do that? Is that the approach, or do you leave him be?
Why don't we create a plumbing small talk simulator for people who aren't sure what to do when a plumber comes over their house to plumb? So, obviously you're a young go-getter. You got your house in the city. You got a beautiful wife, beautiful life. But suddenly, toilet's packed up, water all over the bathroom floor. Don't know what to do. You try first. You try and fix it, but to no avail. You just made it more of a mess. So what you do is you find yourself a handsome plumber to ring up, and you got quite a gaggle of them. You got maybe about 5 or 6 to choose from.
Yeah, and that's like the first challenge. They all have stats. One's like very talkative, and obviously that seems like it'd be difficult. But he's also got some other like stats that balance it out somewhat. And he's quite efficient.
three stats. You have plumbing knowledge, whether they're a nice lad, and whether they like a cup of tea.
Okay.
Obviously,
So
you're never going to hire the one
down.
who doesn't like a cup of tea, because that's just not right.
Well, if you do, you might get like a more efficient plumbing job, because sometimes when you hire one with a cup of tea, he's still got to wait until he's finished his cup of tea, and then the small talk has to keep going for a while, and the game gets harder.
Personally, I wouldn't hire a plumber who doesn't like a cup of tea. I wouldn't hire anybody who doesn't like a cup of tea.
Well, that's how you play the game.
Well,
that's your strategy. You're going to write
the strategy
guide.
is that if you pick the plumber who doesn't like a cup of tea, you just get game over. The game tells you what you're doing.
I feel like we need to cater to multiple playstyles.
Yeah, we got a few different playstyles. We got whether they're good at plumbing. We got whether they're a nice lad or not. We got all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
We'll have some. It'll be like one of those simulators of romance, if there's a particular name for those kind of things. So, you got yourself a plumber. He's behind the toilet. You can ask him some kind of some kind of softball questions like, so how long you on till? How do you like plumbing? Get some basic responses back like, yeah, plumbing's all right. And then, you can start to up the ante a little bit. Be like, did you see the game last night? Did you see that ludicrous display? Did you see that? Yeah, exactly.
And if there wasn't a game last night, or like there could be a whole like other side to the game where you play through a day in the life of yourself before the whatever gets clogged or whatnot, and you have to kind of retain information from that day. So like some days you might like spot on telly, oh, the game was cancelled due to rain. But if you didn't see that, if you never saw it, you say, oh, how do you feel about that ludicrous display last night? He'll respond, did you not see it? The game was cancelled. And suddenly you've just got an awkward situation that's almost inescapable.
But could you have it so if you bolstered enough of your own confidence stats that you could just get away with being like...
Yeah.
You could just say anything and they'll be like, yeah, I totally agree with you. Because,
Yeah, but like if you put too many points into confidence, you're gonna have like shit stats and everything else, like brewing tea. Tea's not gonna come out great.
If you can't make a cup of tea, you're fucked, basically.
Yeah, that's an essential stat. It's like playing Dark Souls 2. You've got to like put 26 points into adaptability because your roll's terrible.
Are you basically saying that this could be the Dark Souls of plumbing games?
Yeah, I think we could do that.
I think so too. Let's think of some Dark Souls plumbing bosses then, so we could have.
This is harder than I thought.
Is there any pun that we could do with gargoyles?
The Garfield. Nope.
Garfields, yeah, there we go. That's one. Gaping dragon. What's a pun we can do on that? Piping dragon? There we go.
Yeah. I think it's back to the Garfield thing though. Well, not specifically Garfield, but you could have a pet. Which that's either a good thing or a bad thing for the plumber.
Maybe the cat could give you advice. Maybe the cat could be looking at the plumber. He could see that you're floundering, and he's like, he's not responding to you, pal. You need to change your getting up like a little bit. You need to start talking about football. Start talking about he looks like a bit of a tough lad. Maybe he likes the rugby. Maybe talk about that.
Or maybe he's a gamer. Ask him what he thinks of the new Assassin's Creed game.
Do you really want to hire a gamer as a plumber?
Well, you don't know what you're getting into when you hire him. Like, you only see some basic stats on his LinkedIn page.
Is there going to be like a panic button if you find out he's a gamer? And you just hit it.
It drops him through the floor.
Yeah, it does. The floor just turns into a trapdoor. He just falls through.
And then, like, when he reaches the bottom, he's snatched up by turtles.
And they teach him that being a gamer isn't right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes you might do it to non-gamers and then you get into some legal trouble. Obviously, there's no legal trouble if it's a gamer.
Well, I mean, no one's going to represent a gamer in court, let's be fair.
But like a real normal person? Yeah.
No. Well, I mean, they're not really normal people, are they?
No.
They might as well be a different species. That's my opinion. Not a popular opinion, but
we might be getting controversial now.
I was about to say, considering all our games seem to end in controversy of some sort, maybe we should
try and avoid that this week.
Yeah, if we're going to try and avoid that this week, I think that'd be quite good.
Well, strangely enough, I don't think we didn't hear anything about the vampire game. I wonder if it just didn't work.
Mate, I mean, we moved the offices to Romania before, we published it, so it's possible that, maybe they didn't, they did e-fakes for, the English, French, German, Italian, and Spanish markets, but they probably didn't get it translated for Romania, so we're not going to see it there.
Okay. Oh, well.
Maybe one day. Maybe eventually we'll see it on our shores.
Could Ornstein and Smo be
Could Ornstein and Smo
bosses?
be plumbers? Could we have it so you go up the stairs in Anolondo, and they're there and they're wearing overalls,
and behind them's a giant toilet.
They're wearing overalls and they've got big mustaches, and one of them's the short fat one. Well, actually, I guess one of them's the tall fat one, and the other one's the small thin one.
Yeah, that's a pretty good dynamic.
Yeah, no, I think they got quite a good dynamic as well.
One of them's got like a massive spanner, and the other one's got a plunger, which he uses to like stab. Well, not stab, but like pick you up and throw you with it.
They go through a colourful cartoon world of like mushrooms and dinosaurs where they have to save a princess, but like they do it in the most gratuitous way possible.
And then
one of them who enjoys torture is just destroying the mushrooms left and right, while the gargoyle,
the proud knight.
Yeah, the proud knight. He's just like ripping his hair out because he doesn't understand what's going on.
Yeah, and then like we could have the two games, pair them off. Yeah. One could be this game where you're going through the colourful world. One can be the game where you come up against them face them in a completely different game. And
I don't know about that idea. I mean, who would want to go up against those two, eh?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would praise it though for being like a really tantalizing boss fight.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Do you reckon it would get to the point that people would describe other games in like compared to that game, or
probably? How many other games, like as soon as plumbing gets into the big times, people are going to be like, oh wow, it all goes back to this game. We can all trace it back to this one game about plumbing, and we'll have all the comparisons we could ever want.
I mean, you could have reviews for like remakes of old games, like say, Crash Bandicoot. It gets pretty plumbery in some parts, much like this plumber game did. And, some people be upset and be like, oh, why do you have to keep referring to everything as the plumber game? But it's just that good. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, and it's just genius. Oh, exactly. To be honest,
it's the genius of that interconnected pipe world that you're moving through.
But now that you mention it, like pipes are just by nature interconnected. Like you can do so much with that.
We could do a Pipevania.
Ooh.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Or
one.
Metroid Pipe. That's not as
pipe.
good.
Yeah, Metroid Pipe. Yeah. Samus has received a distress signal from an alien planet. She goes down and she hasn't got any other special items.
Except the morph ball?
Except for the morph ball. Because she finds out that this planet is nothing but pipes.
And all the bosses are plumbers.
Yeah, or plumber adjacent. They could be like carpenters and chippies and, electricians and all that sort of stuff.
Like cleaners, maybe?
Ooh, yeah, that's an idea. Or the enemies could be like stuff like rumbas and toolkits and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, she's just going through, just destroying tradesmen one by one until there's none left on SR388.
Yeah, to make the Galactic Federation the most like profitable trade business in the universe.
Yeah, basically, she's going around union busting, just taking out any and every competition, and then
she's a bounty hunter because like. All the others are just like, oh, we'll hire this one because she can deal with all the other businesses.
Yeah. So
we can keep our business going strong.
Oh my! I never thought about that. I never thought that Samus Aran was really the villain of the Metroid games. those cheeky aliens, like the little fat boy who just walks around on platforms, or the chunky brother who just zooms back and forth. They're just chilling. There's nothing wrong with them. then she comes along, she starts murdering them, and it's like, what are you doing? They were having a nice time, and now you've just turned them into giant glowing balls of energy and sometimes missiles.
This is such a terrible revelation.
I know. How are you going to reconcile such a thing?
Oh, doesn't mean we don't have to. The coffee alarm's gone. We can just
oh, okay, yeah, we can
get out of the situation.
Yeah, no, we can reconcile that at another time. Hello, and this is the part of the podcast where we have a quick coffee break and talk about whatever's on our mind. Ben.
Yes.
What is on your mind?
Plumbers.
What about them is on your mind?
I don't know. I'm in a very plumbery mood today. Can't quite say why.
Are you saying that you're, for lack of a better term, hooked on the brothers?
I might be. No, I'm not. Okay. It's just I've been playing some games.
Okay, tell us about some games you've been playing.
A certain series of games.
Oh, what certain series of games you've been playing? They
call them Castlevania.
Oh my gosh, what Castlevania games have you been playing?
I played in this order. I played Symphony of Night. I haven't beaten it yet. About halfway through.
Right.
I played Castlevania 1, 2, and 3.
Oh wow.
Castlevania Rondo of Blood, and I'm on the final boss of Super Castlevania 4.
Oh wow. And how are you finding it?
Well, the NES games, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like them.
I don't particularly like the NES games, so just to kind of fill in, I've finished Symphony of the Night. I've played 1 and 2, not all the way through, just like a couple of minutes of both of them. I played Hour of Sorrow, and then that is about it. Oh, and I suppose technically the Hideo Kojima's masterpiece, Lord of Shadow Castlevania.
Oh, yeah, I'm also playing through Lament of Innocence.
Which one is that?
It's a PS2 one. It's 3D.
Okay.
It's the first in the chronology.
Oh,
it's the first ever Belmont.
It's the earliest of the Castlevanias, is it?
Yes, it's the first one where Leon Belmont is he's founded a business where they kill vampires and stuff.
Okay,
and then he goes off to kill some vampire. I don't even know if it's Dracula.
Well, what they'll probably end up doing is, because it's a game set in the past, they'll use it as a case to kind of like anachronistic jokes. Like they might have a guy in it who's like, this vampire, he seems a little bit tricky. What does it say? And they hand him a business card, and it says like D Dracula on it, and they're like, D Dracula, who's that? Or
dun, dun.
They could have like.
I was looking for the timeline of Castlevania stuff, and I found it amusing because on one of them, it had all the Castlevania games, some comics and books and all those sorts of media. And then one of them was just Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah, so Bram Stoker's Dracula is technically a part of the Castlevania universe.
And I find that so amusing.
One of, I want to say Castlevania Chronicles, Castlevania Bloodlines on the Mega Drive. One of the characters you play as is Jonathan Harker, who's one of the vampire hunters in Bram Stoker's Dracula. And so it is completely canonical with that. Well, I mean, Konami probably rang up Bram and said, hey, is it alright if we do this? And Bram obviously didn't reply because he'd been dead for 70 years at that point, and they were like, well,
yeah, but they did get a reply, which was strange.
Yeah, no, they did they did eventually get a reply. It was nothing but wingdings though. They couldn't understand it,
so they just took it as yes.
Yeah, it was definitely 3 letters long, so that was fine by them. And
they were cursed. Unfortunately, Konami was cursed.
Oh my god!
And that's why we have the Konami we have today. Yes. Rather unfortunate that happened.
No, I know. It's a shame that old gypsy said to them, "You are going to be cursed. That Kojima will leave your company, and then people won't like you." And they said, "Bah, that'll never happen."
Keiji Inafune will leave? Nah. Iga Rashi, forgot his first name. He won't leave. No, none of them will. They won't go off, create their own games.
They're not going to go on Kickstarter to make a spiritual successor. That's ridiculous. Kickstarter doesn't even exist.
Bloodstained, Mighty Number 9. What are those? Oh wait, that's. Ignore that. I didn't. Keiji Inafune's. Doesn't matter.
Are you saying that Bloodstained could be the Mighty Number 9 of Castlevania games?
I do hope not.
I hope not either. It looks okay. I don't know if, but I worry that it's going to end up like Mighty Number 9, where the Inti Create spin-off game will end up being better than the game that it's like it's an allusion to.
I mean, I kind of have more faith in the guy. Maybe.
You did make a lot
people,
of good...
People played the demo, they like it.
I've heard people like the demo as well.
I figure it's going to be like a good game, but not a like great, amazing one.
No, I can... As long as it's okay, I think that's the main thing.
Like, if he can make it and then people are happy enough with it that he'll go on to make another one, cool.
That'd be good. That I can get behind.
Yeah. Castlevania.
Yes, Castlevania.
Castlevania 1, 2, 3, not great. 2 especially is pretty terrible.
Well, 2 is like a RPG, isn't it? Or like a non-linear game.
It's garbage.
Right.
Because you go from like there are so many cryptic clues. There's so much walking from one area to another. There's grinding because you need to grind like hearts to buy stuff, and it's just a mess.
Yes.
And it's the easiest game though, because every time you die, you respawn exactly where you died, even when you game over. So
okay, that's all right. I can get behind that.
Yeah, so like you go for the mansions, which is supposed to be like the more challenging parts. You die, and it's like, oh, just respawn, it'll be fine. And it makes it's like the least stressful experience of the 3. But it's I wouldn't have beaten it without a walkthrough. It's one of those games.
Well, I was going to say, and a lot of it's down to the fact that it's got a bit of a dodgy translation as well in it.
Yeah, there are some very cryptic clues you get there.
Yeah.
And then there's Castlevania 1 is alright.
Okay.
It's archaic, it feels, and I don't really have fun with it. Oh, and the last level was complete and utter just garbage.
So what happens in the last level then?
Well, there are these enemies, the flea men, and they're not terrible up until that point. But the fun fact about the flea men is there are a lot of them in this level, and they have very erratic movement patterns.
Right.
So like they'll be quick towards you, or they'll jump in the air, and it's just really annoying to deal with them. And there's also it's compounded by the fact that I don't know if it's a glitch or a feature, but they can jump through walls. Okay.
Well, I mean that might be part of the lore of flea men. They might be being able to travel through solid objects.
But like they can jump through walls and then they'll land on a part inside the wall, which will allow them to jump again.
Okay.
So they basically just ascend through the walls up towards you, and it's like and there's about 20 of them in a room, and I don't even know what to do. So I just save scummed through the whole level.
That's fair enough. And no one's going to judge you for that.
Yeah, I wasn't having any of that.
No, absolutely not. What about Symphony of the Night, though? How did you find it?
I haven't beaten it, but...
You haven't beaten it yet? How far did you get?
No. I'm at the halfway point because of the big twist thing. I don't know if you played it.
It is a literal big twist.
Yeah.
A big turn of events, you would say.
I'm just there, so I barely started that bit. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty great.
I mean, it's funny. I wasn't sure when to save the anecdote for, but you were saying with number 2 how it's kind of non-linear, or whatever. So I can't remember where I read the story, but it was like the reason that Symphony of the Night is like it is that apparently Igarashi, like he just went to an electronics store in Japan and just saw that their bargain bins were full of Castlevania games because they were only like a few hours long. People would, play them and dump them, and that'd be about it. So you'd be like, no, this is shit. People need to be playing these games for longer. So that's sort of what... And so he ended up going back and looking a little bit at Simon's Quest and how that was non-linear, but also looked at stuff like, Super Metroid kind of as an inspiration for what to do next, which is probably why it was the game that, without it, we wouldn't have the term Metroidvania.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I've got some problems with it. I feel there are too many dead ends.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. And it feels like there's too many there's not enough. Like, even in those dead ends, there isn't anything particularly fun there.
There's, like, very few actual upgrades. And, like, because they're only in one part of the map, you just get stuck a lot. and the upgrades also, I don't find them very fun.
No,
Like,
well,
the
I mean,
best-
that's kind of the Vania part of the Metroidvania, which is like, you do get some utility options, like, you can turn into a bat and you can dash and stuff, but,
Yeah.
like, just kind of linear increases in weapon power and defense and stuff, it's a bit... Especially in a game like that where it doesn't really feel like a fantasy RPG, where, the bigger the number, the better you hit. It feels like it's more down to where you're positioned and where you're hitting them from more than anything else, so it's a little bit redundant.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, Bat, I prefer Space Jump from Super Metroid.
Yeah.
The wolf thing, I prefer the speed booster.
Oh yeah, I forgot the wolf is what their idea of the speed booster is, isn't it?
Yeah. And you
rubbish.
don't get much more than that. The double jump's okay, but it's also a double jump. But yeah, I enjoyed the game.
It's okay. It's not my favourite of those kind of games. I would still say Aria Zero on the GBA.
I need to get to that. Oh, and I wanna quickly go over the other three.
Go ahead.
Rondo Blood's great. Best classic Castlevania.
So yeah, because that is a proper classic style Castlevania. Rondo of Blood, is that wasn't this the SNES one's
No,
Draculax, isn't
that
it?
one apparently isn't very good.
No.
It's TurboGrafx 16.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So how are you finding playing a TurboGrafx 16 game?
It's fantastic.
So what's the shtick? Because obviously I know like an SNES that's its particular cadences and its control scheme and those like that has four active face buttons, and the Genesis only has 3. So what about TurboGrafx?
I played it because like they did an English patch because the game never came out here, and it was like a PC patch ROM. I don't know. You just download it and play it.
Okay.
It has its own launcher, and it's I don't know. It's pretty normal. The music's amazing.
Yeah, no, I do know that the music's meant to be amazing in it. Is it the one with cutscenes?
Yeah, they're not they're not great.
Do they have English voice acting as well?
Yeah.
And is it as good as Symphony of the Night?
It's probably better.
Okay, no, what better as in better, or better as in
bad
not
better.
actually better?
Bad better.
Bad better. That's fantastic.
But there's like the opening is in German.
Okay, that's always a good start.
The cutscenes are all in English. But like the enemies, like Death talks sometimes during his battle, and he talks in Japanese. I find this so amusing. Like, I know I guess they just forgot to like translate that bit, but
maybe they just thought it'd be cooler.
he's like, "Oh, hey, already are." I don't know what he's saying, but he's speaking Japanese, and that one's great.
Cool.
Super Castlevania 4, quickly. Multiple whip directions makes the game too easy.
Yes.
I wish there was more of the whip stuff. And the game is really relaxing, strangely.
Yeah, I remember playing it on the Super NES Classic or whatever it's called, where it's like one of the first games on there because it came out like a few months after the SNES did, and it's okay. I had kind of a nice time with it. It didn't feel as hard as the old Castlevanias did. Yeah. Somehow.
There's one level I hate, but it's because it's got so many insta-death spikes in it.
Yeah,
and it's
I like the level where it's like you're inside the barrel from Minish Cap and it rotates around you. I don't know why my go-to was the barrel from Minish Cap, but
I mean, yeah, I get that vibe too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and what's the other one? Lament of Innocence 3D.
So how is that? Because the only 3D ones that I know of is obviously the Lords of Shadow games, and then there was also N64 ones, which
I can't wait to play those. I want to play through every game in like the main chronology. I'm dreading it.
Are they part of the main chronology?
They really are.
Louise.
I'm really not excited.
Isn't one of them? It's either the regular one or the one where you play as a wolfman, but there's skeletons that ride motorcycles.
I've no idea. I don't know much about it.
But it's set in a time before motorcycles were invented.
Well, in all fairness, Symphony has like stuff like New York style pizza. And
wait, what?
There's an item in it called New York style pizza, and I read lore on it because I was like, "There's no way they explain this." And it's like, well, Dracula's castle was like time shifts, and
Yeah, no,
they might have like been pulled in from the future. And I'm like, okay.
They have that in Aria Sarah as well because they have.
Well, that game's set in 2031.
Yeah, but they have like World War II soldiers and stuff in the castle, and well, one of my favorite weapons in the entire game, because that's a game where you play and it has like enchanted swords and buster blades and glaives and all that stuff. It's literally just a 9mm. you just find you literally just find like a piece just hiding behind a cave wall, like no big, and it is literally just a gun.
Yeah, find an AK-47 at one point.
Nice. Yeah, you just find yourself an AR-15 hidden in Dracula's castle. Just go to work, easy.
But it's what was it called? Oh yeah, Lament of Innocence is interesting.
Okay, good interesting or bad interesting?
The combat's pretty good.
Okay.
You get like lots of new abilities. You can like get new combos, and it's constantly developing, and that makes me happy.
What's the combat like? Because I watched bits of it and I can't figure out if it's like Devil May Cry or whether it's a bit stiffer.
It's kind of Devil May Cry-ish.
Okay.
It feels less stiff than the first one. It's pretty quick. You got a dodge, you got a parry. And you got some cool abilities, and it feels pretty good. And the boss battles are amazing.
Have you got a 3D whip? That's the thing though. Have you got a 3D whip?
Yeah.
And can you do big whip arcs?
And you can do a like a forward arc kind of thing. You can do a wide attack.
Can you whip people into the air and juggle them?
Oh, you can. There is an attack that whips them into the air.
Oh wow!
Like I just unlocked that combo. You do like a 1-2 strong attack and it launches them. Then you can jump up and combo. I guess I don't know. It's got some cool moves in it though.
Sounds like it's got some cool moves.
The problem with the game.
Yes.
It's got this problem with corridors, in that there are too many of them.
And they're a bit too corridory.
Yeah, you got like a corridor that splits off into 2 more corridors, which also split off into 2 more corridors.
Oh dear.
And they're all very long, and because like you want to explore the whole floor, like the whole level, you got to backtrack through them so much, and there's just so much walking, like Simon's Quest, but like more. And it's just, I don't know why they did it. It really confuses me.
I was about to say, that does sound very confusing. And do all the corridors look the same?
Yeah, exactly the same.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so each area will have its own distinct corridor type, which you'll travel through for most of the area. But like, it's got some good areas still.
Sounds like a bit of a waste having a corridor though in a 3D game.
Yeah. I don't know. It's fun and I'm enjoying it more than...
Good. How would you say? What would so far be your series rating then for Castlevania?
Okay, 1 I give a 4.
Okay.
2, 3.
Out of 10 or out of?
Out of 10, yeah.
Okay.
3 I also give a 4 because I thought I was going to enjoy that game more, but it's got that bullshit difficulty. That's not very fun, and it's also really long.
Oh dear.
And then Castlevania 4, 7, 6,
Okay,
7. I'll go 7.
That's higher. That's okay.
Rondo of Blood's a solid 8.
Nice.
Lament of Innocence probably a 7 still.
Yeah.
And then Symphony of Night probably an 8.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good series.
Yeah. No, I'd say so. I think they get the shaft a little bit compared to the Metroid games, where I would kind of rank all of those a little bit higher. Although, that being said, I enjoy the NES Castlevania games more than I enjoy the NES Metroid games.
But that game is awful.
Yes.
Luckily, they remade it, so...
it is not fun. I probably enjoy the Game Boy Castlevania games more than I enjoy the Return of Samus or whatever it's called on the original Game Boy.
Oh god, I hate that game.
It's not good. I like it purely from an aesthetic standpoint and what it's doing with the series, but as an actually playing it, I hate it. It's bad.
There was one other thing I wanted to bring up about Castlevania. One peculiarity about the series. Okay. And it's the fact that because you go through the same area, you go through it a lot.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, that is the thing. It is Dracula's castle.
Yeah,
every single
you
time.
get very used to it. Like the opening level of Castlevania 1, I've been through that about 4 times.
Oh, did they redo that in other games?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like I mean, when I say it, like you go through the same locations. Dracula's castle's always the same. You go up the stairs, you fight the boss. It's always the same Dracula, except maybe some different attacks.
Is the layout of the layout of the first part of Symphony of the Night the same as it is in Castlevania?
No, that one's pretty different, but it's got like the same types of enemies and it's got similarities.
Right.
And then you've always got to go through the clock tower.
Yeah, there's always a clock tower.
Yeah, there's 5 of those I've counted. It's usually quite fun, but I don't know. You get tired of it eventually.
You know what? I always wonder, where does he get his money from for having a clock tower, for having all these beautiful floating gardens and all that? You know, because it's not like it's not like you're gonna go on a business with him, because he is like a genuine monster. Because yeah, exactly. I mean, where's he get his money from? That's what I want to know. People at home, if you know where Dracula gets his money from, please get in contact with us at Game Overtime, either at whatever the Twitter address is, which I can't remember off the top of my head.
Game__overtime.
Game__overtime. Leave a comment on the YouTube upload, or if there is a way to contact us on any of the streaming devices, then do it that way either.
Yes.
But this is something that's going to bug me, so the sooner you can let us know where Dracula gets his money from, that's fine. See, Metroid hasn't got that problem.
Yeah, you don't go through the same areas in Metroid.
Sort of.
You do in a couple of the games, but
Super Metroid and Metroid Zero Mission have exactly the same map layouts. It's just in Super you start in a different bit, and there's a bit more to it. Then with 2, a lot of that is kind of referenced on SR388. A lot of it's referenced on the space station in Fusion.
Well, no, there's one section dedicated to it, but that's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of the sectors is like a simulation of SR388.
Oh, I thought all of them were simulations of different biomes of SR388.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, you are Mr. Metroid, so I can understand that.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously a space station. I understand where the money for that came from. They're doing science, they're doing research.
Yeah.
Same with there's the bits in Super Metroid where there's the old crash ship. That makes sense. Somebody's old crash shipped. Who cares? Why them bugs got energy on them? They just do. They don't drop money though, because they don't have any sort of like bartering system. They don't need it. They're just bugs. Dracula's castle though. Who the hell built that? That's what I want to know.
I just kind of wish there were like more castles, so like you go to different parts of the world in each game, and it'd be a different castle maybe.
You go to his holiday homes, like you go to his timeshare in Aruba, where this is lovely. The same sort of monsters, but they've all got a bit of a tropical bent. It's great. The flea men, they're wearing flowers around their neck. The werewolf, he's got sunglasses on and a flowery shirt. Oh, this is great.
Okay, we don't have long left, but is there anything you want to talk about?
No. I think I'm okay. I think
still on that XCOM grind.
No, XCOM grind's all done now. I've got XCOM out of my system. I played a little bit of XCOM 2, and also a little bit of War of the Chosen, which I didn't put as much time into when it came out, but I decided to go back to it and give it another go, and I'm glad I did. They're both very good. Well, one's a very good game, and one is a very good expansion to that very good game, and yeah, both enjoyable, both good fun with them. So for now, I am bouncing between a few different things. Hollow Knight, I still need to get back to, and a little bit of Sea of Thieves and a little bit of Recall. So that's about it.
Okay. I'd like to quickly thank Maxo for doing the music for this podcast. It's very good.
Yes. Before we ever cut to the actual episode itself, we always we always kind of do the theme tune to ourselves. So
yeah.
It's definitely doing its job.
Yeah, I might keep that in this time just for the sake of it.
Yeah, you should hit him with it
Put it at the end or something,
Yeah, I think that'd be quite good. But yeah, thank you very much, Max. Sir, good stuff.
His links will be in the podcast notes for his Bandcamp.
Yes.
And I'm Myers Codex. You might know that because you're watching on my channel. And James, you are
at GamesD. I am on Twitter at HotCyder, HOTCYDER, or you can find me on YouTube as GamesD. I want to try and search for it though, because it'll probably just spell correct it to games. But
yeah, it's a shame.
It's a shame I didn't go with a better name. But unfortunately,
once he gets to the 20,000,
yes,
he'll be on there. He'll be front page.
Yeah, exactly. Once I have my heated gamer moment, I'm going to be right at the top of the charts.
But yeah, all these links will be in the podcast notes for your enjoyment. Please share the podcast with anyone, your friends or something.
Yes.
Because it helps us grow.
Yes.
Leave a review on iTunes, maybe, please.
Yes, that'd be good.
Yeah, I think that's everything.
That's everything. No, oh my God, there's the bell as well. What a good bit of timing that was.
Yeah, that's really convenient, that one.
No, I thought so too. Right.
Okay. Back to work.
Boy, that break felt like it lasted a bit longer than usual.
Yeah, approximately 5 minutes too long.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that you were counting.
No.
No.
Anyway.
Well, hopefully the boss won't mind too much. Especially if we can come up with a really good plumbing game for him.
Yeah, we've got all the coffee in our system now.
Yes.
Because we still got like a few hours of this work.
When you think about it, the human body's like it's made out of a lot of pipes. You got your blood pipes.
Mm-hmm.
You got your esophagus, which is your throat pipe. You got your lung pipe. You got your ear pipes to your brain. Teeth kind of look a bit like pipes sometimes. Your nose, that's got 2 big pipes. What if we made a game about a body plumber?
Well, let's take that one step further.
Okay.
Let's go. We've got a plumber. He's here to do his job. He gets shrunk down. Rather unfortunate. He goes into the pipes and he fixes them up. Level 1 complete.
Right.
This is familiar terrain. But then the next level, maybe it's not the body, maybe that's further in. But you go to another pipe-filled place. Maybe you go to a water park.
Okay.
And you have to deal with those kind of pipes. And then maybe one level set in a Metroid place. And you're fixing the pipes on Zebus.
You're helping those chunky boys who are on the platforms, and there's those other fellas who zoom back and forth.
Yeah, the zoomers and the gamers.
Is that what they're called? Gamers?
Yeah, gamers. Kind of gamers.
Oh my God, yeah, well. They like to walk around on platforms and also make some condescending tweets to women.
Yeah, but you could have all these levels, different types of pipes, a very unfamiliar terrain. I don't think anyone's doing this.
No, I would agree with that as well. That sounds like it's quite a good idea.
And yeah, that's an idea. Because, I don't know, plumbing games, I think they suffer from, like, all the plumbing games I've played, they suffer from familiar territory. You go through the same pipes. Well. You've seen it all before. Sewers, yeah.
I don't think a lot of people like sewers, because, I mean, you know, not to be gratuitous or anything, but, you know, sewers, that's where the badness goes. That's a bad place. And, you know, nobody wants to hang around there.
Like
it smells.
When people talk about their favourite levels in games, the sewer levels barely come up.
I can't think of a single game with a good sewer level.
I can think of Hollow Knight.
Has GoldenEye got a sewer level?
No, I said Hollow Knight.
Oh. Well, Hollow Knight's like a big sewer level anyways. That's a shtick.
No, you'll get there. Don't worry. But, yeah, the Dark Souls one's not very good. I mean, how do you feel about the one in Half-Life 2?
What's the sewer level in Half-Life 2 again? Oh yeah, right at the beginning where you go in so you go into the house and then the stairs collapses and then Alex Vance is like, yo, what up, I'm Alex Vance. And you're like, oh shit. And then you go to Dr. Klein's house and he's like, right, I'm going to send you, I'm going to warp you around. Here we go. And you think, oh, wow, I'm going to go to like a moon base or something. No, it just
get teleported out of the building, yeah.
Yeah, you get teleported. You just fall outside. And then Barney's like, oh, by the way, use your crowbar. And you're like, oh, thanks, Barn. And then, yeah, you go through the train tracks, and then you go down the aqueducts and stuff. And then you're riding the big old hovercraft from Donkey Kong 3.
What a good level.
Down the lazy river. Yeah, I guess, yeah. That does have a sewer level. And that sewer level's quite fun.
It, yeah. I mean, Half-Life 2 in general is just quite fun.
It is quite a good game, I'll give you that. It's a game so good that it managed to make a fun sewer level.
Yeah. And like, if we ever got Half-Life 3, I think we'd see the pinnacle of sewer levels.
Oh yeah, that's the point, actually. I mean, none of the... actually, I say that one of the episodes did actually have a sewer level in it. Well, I think it was a sewer level. It had antlions in it. That's all I can remember. Okay.
I haven't played episode 2, but I have played episode 1.
Batman Arkham Asylum has a sewer level.
Was it good?
It's okay. It's where Killer Croc lives. So basically, even though it's like a maximum security asylum where everyone's in cages, they thought, you know what? The big old dinosaur man, let's just have him downstairs in the pipes. It don't matter. He's not going to escape or anything. But he does. Like, he does all the time. And it's like, well, why did you even bother doing that?
He's back up again.
Yeah. Oh, he's escaped into Gotham Harbor again. Silly us. Why did we just leave him roam around free in the sewers below?
He's killed 3 more people, but we can get him back in before he kills any more. We're
making a great breakthrough, boys. He's going to be a proper. He's going to be on the straight and narrow in no time. No probs.
Yeah, this is completely unrelated, but there aren't many games where villains like become good.
That's true. Actually,
you get anti-heroes that are kind of villains, but not really.
Imagine if the end of Arkham Asylum, Joker was just like, you know what? All right. I'm not. I'll stop. He just starts being a villain. Yeah, he's like, usually Batman when you. Yeah, so there we go. That's the thing. If you play on easy and medium, he's like, yep, no, back to being the Joker again. I'm mad as hell. Ooh, but then if you play on hard or expert, he's like, fuck, I wasn't expecting that. All right, I'm not the Joker anymore. I'm done.
Yeah. Sorry, Batman. I know you wanted to fight me. I know. Like, sorry to the player. There was going to be an epic boss battle here. I was going to drug myself up, but you know what? You can have it. Use it if you want. I'm good.
I admit defeat. I'm done. I'm just going to turn myself into the police. I'm going to be a good Samaritan now. I'm all right.
I'm going to donate all the money I've made from crimes to charity.
And Commissioner Gordon's there, and he's just doing he's just like, fuck Batman.
He takes the drugs. He starts the fight with Batman, and
oh yeah, he has. Oh yeah, no. So he's jealous. He's jealous of the fact that you managed to do it on hard, because even though he's the commissioner, he can only ever play the game on easy. So he's just jealous as hell. He's like, nah, up yours, Batman.
So he takes the performance enhancing drugs. But yeah, that's unrelated. But
yes, no, that's got nothing to do with plumbers. How did we even end up on that
I don't know.
topic? I don't know either.
Yeah, sewer level's not usually good. So
no, that's very true. So what can we do with plumbers that are not sewer levels?
Well, like I said,
we've already said
bodies. A few. Yeah, Metroid.
Yeah, we said a body. We said we could go over a nice old man's house and clean his smoking pipes. That's one.
Bagpipes.
Organ pipes. There's one as well. We could have it. You go into a church, and there's a ghost in there, like Jesus' ghost, and he's like, oh, play some tunes for me on the pipe organ. And you're there cleaning the organ out, and that makes that does all the organ toots for him. And he's like, yeah, this is a good one. I like this one.
I feel like we haven't tackled the most obvious plumbing type game.
Okay,
puzzles.
What is it?
Because there are already a lot of puzzle games about plumbing, I feel.
That's very true.
Switch the pipes to make the water flow.
Yeah, Pipe Mania, classic old video game. One of the old kings, in my opinion. Tetris, the one
Dig Dug,
Panel de Pon, Pac-Man. All them boys. They're all classic games.
But yeah, it's obvious. But what could we do with puzzles and pipes and plumbing that hasn't been done before? Where is the angle? Could we maybe do the exact same game? We could just make Pipe Mania, but instead of playing it normally with a normal controller, you have to play as the plumber, and you have to play it like Surgeon Simulator.
Could we play a game about somebody playing Pipe Mania? Could we do it like Gone Home, where the character is a young queer person who doesn't quite know their place in the world. Their mum and dad don't understand them. Their friends barely know them. And they don't really know themselves. But they manage to find escape in Pipe Mania. They play Pipe Mania and they say to themselves, you know what? I think everything's going to be okay.
They start singing every little thing. It's gonna be alright.
Be alright, exactly. We can get Bob Marley in there. Because he was a big fan of the pipe as well. Hey-o! Nice.
Oh, yeah. Wait, we can do a level all about weed.
I was going to say, not a lot of games that... I'm a big fan of... I can't remember who said it. It might have been somebody that I know, but was like, weed is the only thing that you can put the word paraphernalia after. But not a lot of weed paraphernalia games. I mean, remember back in the SNES days when you had like Chester Cheetah, the Cheetos man, he had a game. 7-Up, Cool Spot, he had a game.
Yep.
No one did it for weed.
No. What brand of weed do you like most?
There's a couple. There's There's the one with a bit of purple in it. There's the other one. I don't know whether the audience at home know this, but we're not very not very educated on the old wacky tobacco, unfortunately.
Oh, I know everything about it.
Do you actually?
Yeah, I can't discuss it here because the police might be listening in. But
is that why they call you Wake and Bake Ben?
Yeah, that's the one. That's Blaze It Up Ben.
Blaze It Up Ben. Is that why you like the Metroid games? Because, Samus likes to toke.
Yeah. Like, you don't see it often. They hide it behind the thing, but if you sometimes see a reflection of Metroid Prime, and like there's a 1 in 1,000 chance that she's smoking a fat blunt when you do it.
She's using her suit like a hot box. It's the one where you go into the lava level and it has the condensation up on your screen. But she's not actually in a lava level. She's just hot boxing her suit. Like she's just mashed the fuck out in this ship having a whitey. Like that's what happened at the end of Zero Mission. That's how she got caught. She took the suit off. She started fucking vaporizing, get high as quickly as possible before the spaceship, and oh fuck! Then the boys come out, and then she ends up having to do a self station, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
That self station is really good.
I just had to clap a fly.
Oh, what was the fly? What was he doing that was so impressive that you had to clap him?
Oh, he's doing a sick backflip.
Oh,
while smoking a fat blunt.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Check this shit out.
God, we should release this one. We should release this one on 420.
Oh.
Can we just delay it a bit?
What, by a few months?
Yeah.
I mean, as they say, Ben, don't drink and drive. Smoke and fly. And that's what that fly was doing. Good on him, I say.
Yeah.
Go, girl.
Back to plumbing.
Yes, back to plumbing.
We get off topic quite often when it comes to plumbing, and it might just be because plumbing's not very interesting.
It's not very interesting. Not to be mean to the boss's plumber or anything, but it's not a very sexy profession. It's certainly not anything that we could turn into a video. Do we actually have to make a game about plumbing? Could we just make a game with a plumber in it?
Well, we could.
Because all the boss said was a game celebrating his plumber. I guess.
We'll come back to that, but you did say it's not a very sexy profession. What if we make a plumber dating game?
I feel like, well, we already did do a plumber dating game, didn't we? That was the one that we suggested.
Wow, no, that wasn't. I don't think that was inherently a dating game.
Okay, so you want to do the sequel then? You just want to drop all pretenses of it being like cheeky plumber dating, and it is like this is legitimately just a hardcore plumber dating game.
Yeah, there are all sorts of plumbers, like all shapes and sizes.
Are we still using the same stats, which is quality plumbing, likes a cup of tea, and is a nice lad?
Yeah, you gotta have the same stats in there.
Can we do it like Mass Effect, where you use your save details from the first game and then carry them on into this?
Yeah, they remember the nice conversation you had. They remember the lovely brew you made them.
It does that kind of like really bad loading in like a David Cage game does, where it's man, I really did enjoy the time I went plumbing over your house.
It was really nice. I especially liked the cup of coffee you gave me.
You know my favourite cup of tea. It has 0 sugars and 0 milk.
Haha.
Ha ha ha. We'll hire all his French Canadian actors as well that does his games.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good. Quantic Dream plumber dating.
Could we have a scene where we had the plumbers on the back of a bus, segregated from the rest of society?
The plumbers have been, the plumbers are seen as a second-class citizen.
And you are fighting for plumber rights. You're like, I love these plumbers, and like while you're fighting for their rights, you end up falling in love.
There's a bit where you go and you meet up with a Rosa Parks analog. And she's also a bit of a Harriet Tubman as well, and she helps you on the Plumber Underground Railroad. Underpipe, I guess.
Oh yeah, the underpipes are like interconnected pipe network under the ground, which already exists, but we don't know about it.
Well, no, exactly. We don't need to know about that sort of stuff. But
that's for the government to worry about and us to not worry about.
No, exactly. So okay, I think that could work. So, what, do you take them to, like, fancy restaurants, or...
No.
Or do we take them to the different worlds that we suggested for our plumber game?
Yeah,
so,
those are, like,
Grandpa's pipe, inside the body.
Yeah, you got to do it based on their interests. If they're, like, a basic plumber, they're wearing the typical overalls. They look like your stereotypical plumber man. You say, hey, do you want to come to the sewers with me? And he'll be like, yes, that's my favourite place to be.
Are we doing a plumber porno video game? That classic, wow, I'm here to fix your pipes. I've got a really big tool, wink wink, all that sort of stuff.
We can have that version, uncensored version, but that's going to cost double.
That one's going to be on, that's going to be taken off Steam, is it?
Yeah.
Well,
we never actually put it on Steam, but we claim that it was taken off Steam. So that we can
get some public garnering for us. So the gamers will support us.
Yeah, and then we'll release an uncensored version online for double the price.
There we go. See, now you're thinking. Now we're thinking like money men.
And we say that it was Gaben. He was the one that told us we had to double the price.
Gaben made us do it. Gaben came over our house and said, "Hi, my name's Gabe Newell. If you want to get in contact with me, send an email to gayben@valve.com. I can't respond to every email, but I just want you to know that I read every single one."
He actually sent his son over.
What? Daben.
Daben.
And he looks exactly like him, but like half the size. Not like thinner, I just mean like he's been scaled down to he's like 3 foot tall.
Yeah, and he
sounds like exactly the same but higher pitched.
He's one of his hitmen.
And then he has an older brother called Baben, who's the same as him but twice the size.
Yeah, they come in all shapes. They all come in like the same shape, but varying sizes.
Exactly. It's not shapes and sizes. It is purely just they come in all different sizes.
There are about 30 of them. One might,
and they can be anywhere from a micrometer all the way to 80 foot.
Well, no. Yeah, we only know about 30 of them. There could be more tiny ones.
Well, I mean, that was the thing, wasn't it? Is that they didn't... he wasn't born. They just found him, like, buried in the Appalachian mountains. This ancient construct only known as Gaben.
Yeah, I remember hearing a news story about someone who'd stepped on one of them. They stepped on Mabon, and
MeBen, yeah.
yeah, they stepped on him, and that was unfortunate.
No, I would.
Got stuck to the bottom of their shoe.
Do they all have their own different valves as well? Their own different companies and their own different copies of Steam.
But yeah, for the size of individual that they are.
If you want a small games collection, then you want to go with Ream. But if you want a big games collection, you have to go with Dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Great. I'm glad we've figured out the Gaben cinematic universe.
I'm glad that we haven't come up with a game for plumbing, really.
Oh, okay.
What do you do? What do you do for plumbing?
It's so difficult. It's so difficult.
As I said, let's not make a game about plumbing. Let's just make a game with a plumber in it.
Yep, got it.
Let's make something so far removed from actual plumbing that it's fun.
Yeah, okay, we got Larry and his brother, Jonathan.
John and Larry. Right.
John and Larry, yeah. John.
The Larry brothers. That's what
John wears blue overalls. He's got a nice hat with a J on it.
Larry wears orange overalls.
Yeah,
and
taller.
Yeah. They could go through a fantasy world where they,
And
mushrooms.
Turtle at the end, because turtles are attributed to sewers and such.
How about tortoises? I think that'd be a bit more.
Tortoise.
That'd be funnier.
That makes more sense.
Maybe truffles as well. Maybe the people in the world are made out of truffles, and if you eat one of the, eat one, then you get smaller.
Mm-hmm. Oh, mushrooms can be good for you. Maybe.
Maybe.
You get bigger.
Mushrooms. I prefer truffles to mushrooms, if you ask me.
Yeah, but plumbers don't. Yeah, I thought you know this about plumbers and their preferences. They do like mushrooms quite a lot.
That's very true, actually. But as I said, we don't want to make a game about plumbers, do we? We want to make a game with plumbers in it. So we should go off script a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so. But you got to keep pipes in there.
We should have him he should have an antagonist called Sultan Bolton.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a dinosaur, or maybe like an octopus.
That could work.
And his shtick is that he throws knives at you, but he's stuck to the roof, and then you have to pull the switch, and then the roof collapses, and he falls into space.
That's good. That's good.
And then you go over, and one of the truffles says, "Thanks," and the prince is right over there, and you go, "Oh, nice." You don't have to go to another castle or anything. He's just right there.
Well, you're not in a castle. You're in a
warehouse,
apartment complex.
Yeah, that's right. You're in an apartment complex, and you go over, and it's not just any prince. It's the artist formerly known as Prince. And he's like, "Thanks."
Yeah, we're gonna have to buy the rights for that, but we bought a lot of rights.
Well, I mean, the boss has got money, hasn't he? He hasn't got money for plumbers, but he's definitely got money for that.
Yeah. I do worry about the financials. He keeps reassuring us that we have plenty of money left.
I don't, don't ask, don't tell. That's my thing with money.
But yeah, we could do this. We could make a game that features a plumber
and his brother.
Yeah, and we can shape the face to look like Bill the plumber, clean shaven, no hair,
like a beautiful baby.
Yeah, very very skinny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I remember about him.
I don't really know much about him either, in fairness. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Now you mention it, his name is Bill. And... I don't know, what's his name, Bill?
Yeah, I think it...
It's just, I don't know, he looks a bit familiar. He looks a bit like Phil Spencer, the head of the Xbox division of Microsoft. And I know we did have some trouble with him a few months ago, when we created that Xbox.
And his bald head could have been a bald cap.
That's very true. It did look like he had hair underneath there.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to investigate into this, if you ask me.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? You give me 20 minutes. I'll call him back. I'll complain about a problem.
Okay.
And I'll do some investigating. You stay here.
Okay.
Don't come with me. I'll be fine.
Okay.
But if you don't see me again, tell my dog that I love it.
What, like, you love the dog, or you just like like McDonald's? I'm loving it.
Yeah, I'm loving it, and also the dog.
Okay. When I see your dog, I'll say I'm loving it, and he'll go, nice.
Yeah, I'll do some sleuthing into this.
Okay.
I'll do some investigation. And
I think that sounds like a good idea. You get on with that, Ben. I'll type up this pipe idea that we got, and we'll
reconvene in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And we'll clear this up. Anyway, adios.
Bye, Ben. Oh wow, Ben's actually gone, isn't he? Oh, okay. I guess it's time. I guess that's the end of the Game Overtime podcast. I've been James, and he's been Ben, and I know he always says the Latin phrase at the end of the video, and so I'm going to try it myself. Opus Dopus Dumble, which is Latin for have a wonderful week, and we'll see you soon.